Adge and put him in his place. Or you can WhatsApp 08000 321 333, pop Stoke at the start.
Life's a gift, don't let yours pass you by. So afraid you'll fall. What happens if you fly? You are your own kind of beautiful. It's hard to find your voice, sing your own.
7:26 Monday morning. This is the brilliant voice of Lisa T, our resident country music singer and also mental health expert, because it's at this point every single week on the show when we do Monday Motivation, mainly because it's a Monday and we all need some. Lisa T, good morning.
Morning, Lee. How are you doing?
Very, very well. How's things where you are this morning?
Yes, good. It's getting a bit darker now in the morning. Well, it probably has been for you for a while, but this kind of time, it's still a bit dark out there now, which is interesting.
It's a sign that I'm getting older and I'm paying attention to stuff like this. I was searching last night what time the sun was due to rise this morning, and the technical time is 7:51, but it's that miserable outside. It's going to be after 8 until we see any daylight this morning, isn't it? Just before we come on to Monday Motivation, do you have any bizarre superstitions just to add to this ever-growing list?
It's funny because when you were talking, I was just thinking, so somebody I know, this isn't me, I'm not doing that thing where I say, oh, a friend, but somebody I know, actually, when they're walking on the pavement and there's like, like grids or any kind of squares, they'll hop over the lines because they think that if they stand on the line, it is bad luck. To the point where even if they're with a client and they're walking, they'll do this little hop every now and again to avoid standing on any of the lines, which is a very interesting superstition.
For me, I was saying this a few moments ago, the whole cracks in the pavement thing, life is too short. You'd just never be able to go anywhere without being on edge all the time. You'd just be constantly nervous, watching your step. That's where I have to draw the line. But certainly ladders and magpies, I'm there. It freaks me out. It really does. Monday Motivation. What's your tip this week apart from avoiding cracks in the pavement?
Okay, so my tip for this week is a question for us to all ask ourselves at some point today. And the reason for this is to get us to stop and consider what's important for us. Sometimes we get so wrapped up in day-to-day life, rushing around, doing the routine, that we don't actually stop and consider what we want from life, what we like to do. So the answer might not come to you immediately. It might be that you take a couple of minutes later on to really think about it. But the question is, what would you do with your time if you couldn't enter your home all day, you didn't have to work, and your children were being taken care of? So when you've thought about your answer, just consider if there's any way that whatever this thing is for you, how you would spend your day, if there's any way that you could factor this into your life at some point. So studies have shown that asking questions like this to ourselves can help us to better understand what we want from life, because life is happening now and we only get one shot at it. And it's important that during our time, we make the space and the time to do what we want to do when we can. So that's my tip today, Lee.
I like that a lot. So this is, you've basically got the day to yourself, no work to worry about. You can't go home and sit and play PlayStation like I did for a whole day last week. And your children are taken care of by other relatives or whatever. That doesn't matter. You've got a completely empty day. You can't go home. What would you do with it? I like that.
Exactly. Yeah, and I mean, I did say you don't have to think straight away. It might be a couple, but did anything come straight to your mind when I was asking that question?
Yeah, I can't think of the name of the bay. My dad would tell me if he's listening, but seeing as you've only got one day, I would go to this particular bay in Anglesey. It is a pebble beach. It's made up purely of pebbles and stones, and the only thing that you can hear is birds tweeting, and the sea, which because it's a pebble beach is lovely and blue. You just hear that swishing. And I've always said, if ever I'm having a stressful day and I've got time, that is exactly where I will drive to. Unfortunately for me, is it Triada Bay? I think it might be Triada Bay in Anglesey.
Okay.
That's where I go, and that's what I do for the day. Just sit there and just throw stones in the sea.
Oh, that's lovely. And that's the reason why these studies say that we should ask ourselves these types of questions, because sometimes the thing that pops into your mind can be maybe somewhere you've not been for 10 years or something you've not thought about. But then it might just make you think, do you know what? I'm going to make time over the next few months to just take a few hours to myself and go there. So yeah, that's a lovely answer.
Do you know what someone was saying to me? I think it was last Tuesday when I was speaking to them. They mentioned this feature. They just went, she always comes out with some good things, doesn't she, Lisa T? I'm like, yep, that is why we have her on every single Monday. And that's one of my favourites that we've done over the last few weeks. Have a great week, Lisa. Thanks ever so much for coming on.
Thanks, Lee. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Great tip from Lisa as part of this week's Monday Motivation. So you've got a free day, you can't go into your house, you've not got work, and your children are safe and are being taken care of. What would you do with that one day to yourself? Love that. Great tip from Lisa T. We have got another star of this show, AJ Pritchard, just around the corner talking to us what it's like behind the scenes at Strictly. And I can see loads of your superstitions coming in too.